Namaste friends, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me, and remember please to hit the subscribe button below, as well as the notification bell so you can receive delicious new practices that I'm uploading and sharing with you. Today I want to talk about the glutes. The glutes are a really important topic because the glutes in the body are like the suspension system for your lower back and knees. One of the number one complaints I always hear from people is, I've got knee pain, I've got lower back pain. And sometimes that pain becomes so critical that you see a lot of people needing outside support. Some people need walkers, some people need chairs, and then other people need to give up activities that they love, sports that they like to do. For myself, I had to give up hiking for the better part of 10 years because every time I went hiking, my knees would just be demolished. I remember one time when I was 29 and I went out and I did one of my most favorite hikes called Nueve Vistas, and it's a hike in Vancouver, Canada, and I came back and I could not walk for 3 days because my knees were so inflamed. The question is, why is that happening? It's got to do with the glutes. And there's a lot of people professing that they know how to strengthen the glutes, but when I watch these exercises, they're actually not strengthening them, they're actually stretching them. And so from our perspective, from a muscle activation perspective, the only way to really improve a muscle's ability to work properly is to shorten that muscle or to get that muscle to contract. Keeping that muscle improving that muscle's ability to contract is what starts to improve its efficacy. So these are some scientific practices that you can do to start shortening your glutes. And today I'm going to give you 3. So these are my 3 scientifically proven ways to begin shortening the glutes and improve their ability to contract on demand, and contract properly so that you can continue to enjoy those sports and activities that your heart is longing to do. So let's just do a little bit of a quick explanation first. So if you can look at my my glutes, my butt, check my butt out. Right about here is where we have the hip bone. And so the glutes kind of attach at the hip bone, more or less. It's actually just below the greater trochanter, the glute max. And they come up and they attach to the sacrum here, and they attach to the iliac. So they come here, the pelvic bone. So they come up here. And so one of the explanations or actions that the glutes often get is the ability to extend. So as I lift my foot up to the sky, what is actually doing that movement is the glute. So if you are doing this properly, you can bring your other hand back and just kind of feel that glute really engaging there, okay? And that's the action. Now, if your glute isn't working properly, i.e. it's not contracting, it doesn't have that force of contraction as you're going through this range of motion, you'll probably start using other muscles. Some people complain that their lower backs start to hurt. Other people start to complain that their hamstrings start to get overused. So we want to improve that muscle's ability to contract. Now earlier I was talking about how it's a suspension system. So as you're going through different ranges of motion, your body is experiencing shocks. What absorbs that shocks is the glutes. If you kind of ever been on a really bumpy road, maybe you were in a car that had no shocks, and you can feel like the weight of the car or the structure of the car is becoming compromised. Sometimes if you have shocks that aren't working in your car, the axle will actually break. And so the axle in this case in your body is the knees, maybe even the hips, and definitely the lower back. So we want to make sure that that suspension system is working properly. So you ready to do these 3 proven exercises that will not only strengthen your glutes, but actually create a more healthier lower back? Are you ready? All right, so they're really easy. The first one is one of my favorites, and you're just going to come down And you can just kind of have your hands here, that's fine. But I want you to rest your head. And if you don't want your hands there, you can rest your forehead on the floor like that. But I'm going to keep my hands here. And then you can bend your right knee. Now I want you to actually just bring your left hand around your back and just feel your right glute. Now engage it and then release. And engage it and release. And engage it. Now keep it engaged and lift that knee up. Don't worry about how high you get the knee. You also want to keep that right pelvic bone down on the ground. And then exhale and release. Bend the knee again, engage it and lift it up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and come on down. And then bend the knee again, engage it and lift it up for 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and come on down. And then bend the knee again, engage it and lift it up for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and come on down. And then bend the knee again, engage the glute, and lift it up. And hold 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then come on down. Bend the knee, engage the glute, and lift it up. And 2. You might notice this getting easier. Sometimes you might notice that your leg comes up a little bit higher. And then come on down. We'll do it one more time. Bend the knee, engage the glute, and lift it up for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now the idea here is that we're not competing to see how high we can get the leg. That's not so important. What is important is that you start to engage the glute, lift it up, keep the hips or the back balanced so that you're not lifting up one side to try and give yourself the illusion that you're lifting the leg more. Okay, so really isolate the glute as much as you can. When we're looking to strengthen any muscle, we want to bring it to its shortened state or its most shortened state as possible. So that's one of the best exercises that you can do to really target the glute as much as possible. You ready to do the other side? So bend the left knee, engage the glute, and lift it up. And 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and relax down. Do it again. Bend the knee, engage the glute, and lift it up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and come on down. Bend the knee, engage the glute, and lift it up for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and come on down. Bend the knee, engage the glute, and lift it up for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and come on down. Bend the knee, engage the glute, and lift up the leg. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and come on down. And let's just do it again one more time. Bend the knee, engage the glute, and lift it up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's awesome. Now let's do the next pose that we're going to do is a pose called bridge pose, or in Sanskrit, Setu Bandhasana. So you're going to bend the knees and bring the feet just a little bit on the outsides of the hips. You can make a gentle fist with your hands, bring a fist over to the floor behind your head, or just let the arms come to the sides or out behind you, whatever is comfortable. What you're going to do here is anchor down into the heels of the feet, engage your glutes, and lift up as high as you can. This is a very simple practice or a very simple exercise to do. Really squeeze those glutes as much as you can and slowly come on back down. Again, press into the heels of your feet and lift up. So lift up the glutes as high as you can and holding it there for 3, 4, 5, 6, and come on back down. And engage the glutes and lift it up. In for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and come on back down. Engage the glutes, squeeze them, and then slowly come back up and hold for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and come on back down. And squeeze the glutes, engage them, come on back up and hold for 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and come on back down. And then again, engage the glutes and lift them up. Now this time I want you to do something a little different. So lift up as high as you can, then lift the toes, just the toes, not the balls of the feet. And then anchor down in the heels and see if you can lift up and squeeze a little bit more. Now without moving the knees, squeeze your legs together, but don't move the knees. And lift up again, and then come on down. We'll do it one more time, and I'm going to give you one extra cue. And this is just to get a little bit of hamstring. So engage the glutes again. Press down into the heels of the feet, then lift the hips up. Lift the toes a little bit here. Now, about 5 to 10% effort. Pull the heels towards your shoulders. You're going to feel this in your hamstrings. Squeeze the glutes again and lift up. One more time. Hold it. And then come on down. Oh, isn't that delicious? Oh, amazing. I love that so much. You can feel your glutes really working here. Now this next exercise is going to surprise you probably just a little bit, but it's just really wonderful. So just go with it. So you're going to bend the knees and bring your knees a little closer to you. Now lean forward just a little bit. I don't want you to lean back. So just lean forward just a little bit. Just a little bit, not like you're about to cuddle with your pillow at night. So bringing your knees together, you're going to place one hand on the thigh. Keep the edges of your feet together and lift that knee up as high as you can. You're probably going to feel this in your glute. This is wonderful. We're hitting glute med and definitely a bit of piriformis here too, which is very important hip rotator. Exhale slowly, come on down. Let's do that a few more times. Come on up. Now I've got the hand here. I'm applying about 5 to 10% effort or force on that knee and creating my own resistance. Exhale, come on down. Not so much, but just enough just to create a little bit of force so that that muscle activates a little bit more. Come on back up. And then again, just press a little bit. And then come on back down. Very nice, eh? Come on back up. Again, with that hand, create a little bit of force. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and come on back down. And then come on back up again. And hold 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and down. And then back up again. And hold 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then back down. And then come on back up again. Hold for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and back down. And we'll do it one more time. And come on up. Hold 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and back down. And then come on up again and hold 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Very good. Let's do the other side. Yes. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, so again, bend the knees here. And have that hand, the left hand, on that thigh, and then bring the knee up. So one of the things you often hear people say is, I want to open my hips and then slowly come down. This, in my opinion, is one of the most ridiculous statements. Come on up. What does opening your hips really mean? Well, a lot of times what they really mean is like, I want to get my knee up more. Well, if you want to get your knee up more and then slowly come on down, and then come on up. Improve your glute med's ability to contract. It's the glute med that needs to contract in order for you to lift this knee up. So the worst thing that you can do, slowly come on down, come on back up. The absolute worst thing you can do is to start forcing these hips to go into a range of motion without accountability. And then slowly come on down, and then come on back up. Press a little bit with that left hand. And accountability means that we need to improve the muscle's ability to contract. If the muscles are not contracting, they're not stabilizing joints. And so that's what we mean by when we say, come on back down, and again, come on back up. By having accountability, we start to create more stability. By getting those muscles to engage properly, push up a little bit more, there's more stability in the joints. The muscles are not contracting properly, there's no accountability, there's no stability, and stability always leads, instability, always leads to injury. So what I'd like you to do is just to come back up onto fours. I didn't ask you to do this in the beginning, but I thought it might be an interesting exercise. Now that your glutes are activated, lift that back leg up. Is it a little easier? Maybe if you did this at the beginning, you might notice that it was a little harder. Now it's a little easier. So there you go. Those are my scientific practices to work on building stronger glutes. Just as a side note, all of these kind of like squats and things that people do really don't do much for improving the glutes' ability to contract properly. They may strengthen the legs, and definitely there's some improvement in muscular strength. But in terms of the muscle's ability to shorten properly, you definitely want to be doing these exercises. And as you do them, your workouts will be better, your sports will be better. Just living life is a lot better. Namaste, my friends.